Hi guys. Since Alagendri, she has got some medical emergency, she'll not be able to join. But let me go ahead and take today's class, okay? So I think I can brush up the concept meanwhile. Okay, so since Alagendri is not there, since when she is back, I can go with process builders. Okay, so before that, I can share my screen. So, okay. So, yesterday, Ashwin, I was telling you about what is Salesforce, on what platform does Salesforce run, that is cloud computing. And that tool is used to leverage sales develop interaction with the customers, and also analyze how the sales are doing and forecast the sales also. Okay. So in order to like, for example, you can also forecast your data using reports and dashboards. So these are all the things that you could do using Salesforce. Okay. Salesforce is basically a tool to in develop your business. Okay. So once you are ready with all these products and you're going to sell it. Okay. So the medium which you are using to store your data, the purchase data of your client and all, right? So that is Salesforce. So Salesforce by default, they provide some set of standard objects in which we will directly load the data and store our data. Okay. So whatever business it might be, it will involve purchase stage, or it will involve certain things like code discount, or even if the product is not good, you will be your client will be reaching out to customer service, right? So for this also they have like a case object. So for each purpose they have one object where you can store the data and have it in place. Okay. And also the automations, as I told you, not only in Salesforce, in any technology, it's all about automation. Okay. Whichever process is being done manually, if you're able to automate it, you're going to get credit for that. Okay. Obviously your client is also going to be impressed, because it's going to save his time, because he'll be doing something manually and you will be giving him idea like, hey, we can automate it. So we have like different features in Salesforce with which you will be able to automate a functionality. Okay. So Salesforce is similar to all these things, but the difference between other technology and Salesforce is you will be able to do a lot of functionality using point and click without use of coding. Okay. So those features already, like Alagendra and Kishore, they have almost come across. Okay. Still they have this process builders and flows, but then yeah, I'll be teaching you like from the thing. Okay. Like what is Salesforce and what is CRM? I told you, right? Like CRM is able to is generally a thing that the business used to uh, manage relationships with customers, or interact with customer data, or analyze the customer data, or all these things. Okay. So using CRM, so usually they use this term for business thing purpose. Okay. And also goal of CRM is to improve business relationship with customers. Okay. So that's the main goal of CRM. So whatever it is, once you have some product to sell and things, and you also need to maintain a good relationship with your customers, only then they will come back to you next time, right? So that's where CRM helps in. So obviously you can, so for example, imagine a customer is not satisfied with your product because he has got a defect piece. Okay. So he's going to place some case, and imagine if nobody is there to look after that case, or somebody has forgotten. So that's going to really put a negative impact on your business and you, right? So that's why we also have like predefined things in Salesforce, like we can post a alert saying that if at all if this case is not being looked into, we need to get a alert message or alert mail or something like that, right? So those are the things that you can do using Salesforce also, like automatically without the use of point and click. Okay. I mean, without use of coding. So as I already told you, Salesforce is something that works on model view controller architecture. So not only Salesforce, any other technology, it works on this one. But the thing varies here. Okay. So if you take .NET, the controller will be, the logic class will be C sharp. Okay. That's one programming language. And for Salesforce, it's Apex programming language. Okay. And also you have a view. So in view, that is the end user viewpoint, right? So this is the end user viewpoint. So this is called as view, and the code, the programming language that is used behind view is visual force or lightning component. So these are the things that are used. Before 4 5 years, visual force was in good hold. Okay, but now everything is in lightning components. Okay, so nothing. You just have to use that component in various code blocks. Okay, so that's how you set up the relationship between controller logic and interface thing. Okay, and also you have model database, which is like a query language. So in another technology, you have something called as SQL, structured query language, and in Salesforce they say that as structure object query language. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, so this is the language that they use in Salesforce. Okay, and SDLC, that's of course called as software development lifecycle or system development lifecycle. So if you take any company, right, they will be having a lot of projects. So they have to follow one method of approach. Okay, in project basis. Okay, so there there are like different kinds of software lifecycle process. Okay, so one is waterfall model, another one is win-win model or rapid model. So they have like a lot of models that are being set up in software lifecycle. Okay, so if you belong to computer science department or IT department, you would be having one paper called software engineering. Okay, yeah, software engineering. So that's where you will be learning different kinds of software lifecycle. Okay, software models basically. So software lifecycle model, you'll be like you have it in there. Like uh, generally, whichever software lifecycle model if you take, it will be having these things. Okay, like planning first. The initial stage is planning. Okay, so whatever it is, your client, he'll be telling the requirement. Okay, so he'll be telling, hey, our business runs on this one, and we have different lines of business. Okay, and we also have different lines of business unit. So each business consists of this one, and we would like to have these fields on the page. When I say fields, yeah, so when I say fields, if you take one object, okay, so as I already told you, this is called as the whole part above this is called navigation bar. Okay, and the things that you see here are called tabs but objects. Okay, so this is one object, attendees is one object, and once you click on this one, you'll be getting a list of accounts that are already available. Okay, so you can have that in place. Okay, so this is the recently one. So once you go through this, I was telling you about a field, right? So this is one field under this object. Okay, so account name is one field under account object. Phone is one field under account object. So these are all some things that you need to know. Okay, so that when I tell about these things, you will be having, okay, what is field, what is object, so you'll be knowing. Okay, so yeah, so whatever it is, they will be telling like, I need this field, I need this field to be filled, I need this field to be filled, or I want this field to be mandatory. Okay, mandatory in the sense, for example, if you are going to create a new user ID for you in any website, obviously you'll be asked to input your email ID, without which you will not be able to create one user account for you, right? So those kind of details, so the red color thing which you see is called so which means that this is a required field. So if I take this out and fill it, okay, I will not be able to fill because I'll be hit with an error saying please fill the type number. Okay, so complete this field. So even if I won't enter any value, without which I'll not be able to save. How many times ever I hit it, I'll not be able to save it. Okay. So once I click any value under this and click on save, then it will be saved. Okay. So these are all something that you can set using your as an Salesforce flow. So as a Salesforce consultant or as a Salesforce resource, you will be able to set all this based on the criteria or requirement that you get from your client. Okay. And once you get the requirement from your client, you're obviously going to create them. Okay. So you're going to build them basically. So whatever requirements they have given, you're going to build based on that. Okay. And once you have built that, you will send it to testing. Okay. So you'll be sending this, the things which you have built, right? So you'll be sending them for testing to your user. So they will kind of like review whatever you have built and whatever they have given you as a requirement. Okay. So if at all, if there is any change, they're going to say, hey, we don't want something like this, we want something different. Okay. So this is how in all the Salesforce, I mean, all the technologies, this is the basic thing that is being followed. Okay. So once they have completed their testing and they are satisfied with what you have built, okay, with what they have provided, so if you have fulfilled the requirements, then obviously you're going to deploy, which means you are going to send it to production. So when I say production, it's going to be available for uh, end user. So the things which you build, right? So that is going to be the rough. Imagine it's like a rough note. Okay. So production is something called as the main note, like the class notebook, right? Classwork or something. So you'll be having like two notebooks, right? Whatever you like, you take notes in sandbox or whatever, or in your school days when you kind of like write record, right? Before you write record, you write on some rough note and show it to your ma'am, and then they will kind of like approve, okay, this is okay, this is okay. Then once they approve it, you will kind of transfer that into a main record notebook, right? So that's how it is done in software lifecycle also. They will be doing in one different stage, okay, in a different environment. Imagine that is a rough note environment. Okay, so that is called as sandbox. In sandbox, they will be building all these things and sending to testing. And once user tells okay, they're not going to again build the same in production. They're just going to push from sandbox, that is from rough node to main node. Okay. So Salesforce, they have a similar thing called deployment thing. Okay. So once you click on that thing, you will be able to transfer information from rough node to main node. That is production. Okay. So as I already told you, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, the name itself says that, for example, if you're having a factory and if you're creating products, okay, so you need to know how many products you created and how many products that got shifted to different stores in the different outlets in the city, right? So those kind of things you thoroughly have to know. So the thing that you need to, the thing that you will use to record all these details, right? That is called ERP. So one of the example for ERP tool is SAP. Okay. So SAP is one of the booming ERP, and also we have like different ERPs, not only SAP, like different things in SAP itself. You have different version like ABAP, HANA, or B1. So it's all like one. Each tool makes use of each feature or functionality or something like that. Okay. So yeah. So that's how business equally works. So every time when you start a business, there's only like two process. One process that you have to take care is before the selling process, and the other process that you have to take care of is the process that is being carried out after selling. Okay. So the process that is being carried out after selling, right? So that's something that is done in Salesforce. So for example, the things that the product is ready and you display that in campaign, which I already told you. So in any mall, you will be having an event. So that is called campaign. And in that mall, who are all the people that are interested in your products are going to be lead. Okay. So after lead, if at all, if they're interested in your product to purchase further products from you, they will be considered as opportunity. Okay, so they will be under opportunity object, and in opportunity object, the details for how many products they have bought and all these details will be there. And after they have bought, if at all, if they have any problem or any such defect in the product, that thing is going to be under that thing is going to be under cases. Okay, so that's how in Salesforce they're used. And before you sell a product, you need to make note of how many products have been manufactured today. So imagine I have manufactured like 1,000 products today. That count should go into ERP system. Okay, so that's where SAP thing comes. Okay, and also the credit. So they'll be having something like the credit, the debit going or the credit coming out. So all these things they'll be having. Okay, so that's how business works together. Okay, so they'll be integrating ERP and Salesforce. Okay, so they'll be integrating SAP and Salesforce, or they have something called Hybis, that is also an ERP. Okay, so that is a Java product. So usually they will have similar softwares to integrate in order to run their business. Okay, so if at all, if their business is large in number, of course they're going to use these two systems. Otherwise, simply they will have something like, in Salesforce itself, you can have that numbers. Okay, it's not like only in SAP you should have, but if you have in Salesforce, you need to create those fields by yourself. Okay, it's not given by default, but in SAP, if you take, it's given by default. Similarly, if you take in Salesforce, the things that you do after sales, right, the post sales work and all, for that, objects will be automatically available in Salesforce. Okay, you just need to load your data. You don't need to create as a new object and fields under that one, right? So that's how each yeah, if at all, if it is CRM, it's going to have objects that helps the post sales, and in ERP it's going to have objects that helps in pre-sales. Okay, and yeah, as I already told you, so this is something that yeah, Kishore and Alagendri, they would have been familiar with these objects, because as I go through the features, right, what and all things you will be able to do using Salesforce. So I'm going to build and show you on these objects only. Okay, these are called as standard objects. Okay, so when I say standard objects, you need to remember very importantly that standard objects are the objects that are created by Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce as in, imagine this is Salesforce tool. Okay, so we are using this tool. So we are considered as clients of Salesforce. Okay, the Salesforce product. So if you're using Gmail, you're the client for Gmail. So you're going to be one of the client for Google company. Okay, so similarly, if you're using the Salesforce tool to build and give you, right, so you're going to be the client for Salesforce, which means you're using their tool technically. Okay, but meanwhile, if at all, if you guys are going to do it in the back end and provide I mean, like, build requirements of your client and give that, right? So you're going to use this tool to fulfill requirements of your client. Okay, so your client, so the person for whom you're going to build the things are so so yeah, so the things that you use to fulfill the client's requirement, right? So the tool that you will be using is Salesforce. So yeah, so your client, the person to whom you're going to give build the requirement is your client, and you're going to use this platform to build your client requirement. Okay, so you're going to be the client of Salesforce company. Okay, so these Salesforce guys, okay, they by default they provide all these objects like campaigns, leads, contacts, opportunities. So these are all called as standard objects. So this is nothing but you cannot create these objects. Okay, they the objects that they they are going to create and give you. And importantly, the things that they are going to create and give you, okay, by default. For example, if you're going to create a new developer edition for you, you can't find some developer edition without these objects, okay. So whatever you do, if you create your developer edition, if you create a playground, okay, so let me show you. So Ashwin, I suggest you to take this URL, okay? So if you take this URL, you will be able to sign up your developer edition, okay? Which means that you will be you can create a developer edition of your version. I mean, you can create a developer edition. You need to give your email ID, okay? So
Okay.
something like this, and yeah. So basically you need to give all these details, fill it in, okay, and sign me up, okay. So once you sign it up, you will have a link created, okay. So basically what will happen is you will get some mail like this, okay. Verify, okay, verify your identity. So you enter your email ID here, right? So once you enter your email ID here, you're going to get once you click on the sign me up, you're going to receive a verification email to your email ID that you're going to enter here, okay. So once you click on this, there'll be one URL link, okay. So this is not the mail, exact mail, but once you click on this yeah, so but once you click on this link, right, so your account will get verified, okay.
Mm.
So your account will get verified, and your yeah, you will be able to enter into the org, okay. So for entering into your org, you need to type into login.salesforce.com, okay. So once you create your user account in Salesforce, you have to click on login.salesforce.com and enter your credential, okay. So the one which you are giving it here, the username, okay. So the username that you are going to give it here and the password you need to set up, and then click on login, okay. So once uh, yeah, once you click on this login, you will be entering into this one. So once you enter in this one, it's not that you have to create this campaign, lead, contact, opportunity objects by yourself, okay. It's going to be there by default, which means that Salesforce guys, they kind of provide you this org with inbuilt objects. With these one, the inbuilt objects which you are going to get it by default, right? So those objects are called as standard objects, okay. So
This
remember. Hmm?
all things are the standard objects.
Yeah,
Campaign.
so yeah, the one which you see here, right? Campaign lead,
Yeah.
account contact opportunity, case. So these are all called as standard objects, okay? So these are the main standard objects that you will be using in for whichever client you want, okay? So for example, I can give you one example. So imagine your name is
How to create our own objects? Is it possible to create one object?
Yes, yes, you will be also be able to do that. So these are called as standard objects, and you will also be
Mhm.
able to create objects by yourself. So those objects are called as custom objects. Okay. So
Okay.
as I go through like steadily, you will be able to understand the difference between standard objects and custom objects. Okay. So now the basic example you have understood. So the ones which you get by inbuilt. Okay, predefined objects are called as standard objects. So those are the objects provided by Salesforce guys. And the one which you can create by yourself is called as custom object. Okay. And also I will be telling you the difference between these both. Okay. And yeah, so as I already told you, in order to increase your marketing, right? Like you use these two objects, okay, campaign and lead, which I told you yesterday. It's going to be that event, and under event, who are all the people who are interested, who have registered their interest in your product, are going to be leads, okay. And imagine you, okay, you're Ashwin. So you belong to, you're a person, you're an individual person, okay. So whatever it might be, either take me or Kishore or anybody in this group, okay. They are all individual person who are working under one organization, right? So that organization will be called as account, okay. So it's not only like account, You can also name this as organization. Okay, organization. Okay, so you can name something like organization. Okay, so you need to understand the relationship between account and contact. So if I go to contact record, okay, so this person Kishore, if you go to details, you will be seeing that he will be under one particular company called Accenture. So that is called as account name or organization, right? So this is something that you need to remember. So how the contact object and account object is related. So for example, wherever you go, so if at all if you're going to fill some form, you're going to have something called company. Okay. So that's where you will be filling, like if you're told, if you fill your detail, you're going to fill, if at all if you're working for Accenture, you're going to say Accenture. So which means that you belong to Accenture company, and you as an individual, you come to the mall to see the product, the event, okay, the campaign event. In that campaigning event, you will be interested in your in that product, okay, then you will become lead. Okay, so which means that you are a lead, or also you're an individual contact. So before you become a lead, you are an individual contact who belongs to one particular organization, right? So that's the concept. So if you observe, there will be relationship between all these objects. Okay, there'll be relationship between campaign and opportunity. There'll be relationship between account and opportunity. So all these objects are related. Okay, so imagine okay, imagine Kishore is a HR of Accenture, and he's going to some store to buy the gifts. Okay, so if at all if you're a new joinee or joining on the first day, the company will provide you the company bag, company notebook, company pen and all, right? So in order to purchase that, imagine Kishore is a HR and he's going to purchase those bags, pens and all, right? So he's not going to purchase for his own use, he's purchasing it for company purpose, right? So that's where so imagine I wanted to see, like, okay, I wanted to so imagine I am the person who's selling the bags to Kishore, and in the year end or month end, I wanted to know how many bags got sold and how many bags did Kishore get it. Okay, so I shouldn't see in Kishore point of view, because he's a person who's buying for company, for his company, right? So that's where you see, like, the after he makes his purchase, after he purchases the bags, he's going to be under opportunity, and account is going to be Accenture, and contact is going to be Kishore. Okay, and this is how, like, you kind of have to relate things. Okay, so the example which I'm giving you right now is going to be helpful when you work for any client in real time. Okay, so your client is also going to have like n number of companies or accounts, uh, making purchase. Okay, yeah, purchasing his products. So he need to have all the data, right? So who are all the companies or accounts who are making purchase from him? Okay, and also context. You might ask, like, why I need these list of companies or organization. Basically, if at all if a person is yeah, basically if a person is interested in your product or something like that, right? So it's not that you should sell that product only once. Okay, you can sell that product any number of time to him. Okay, so in order to maintain that relationship with him, you will pull out the list of contacts or accounts and sell any promotional mail to them, saying like, hey, we have a winter offer, or we have summer offer. So that's how you keep your clients in touch. Okay, and also you don't want to let your clients choose another product, right? So that is the goal of all the things. So what they'll be doing, they'll have the list of all these things, and they might send promotional email, or they might say you buy two get two offer. So whatever things are there, right? So these are all the things that you need to store. Okay, so whichever business you take, if at all, if they're going to make purchase, they're going to have record of that purchase. Okay. So that's when these objects and all come into play. Okay. So as I already told you, in order to leverage your marketing, uh, the marketing thing. So in order to improvise the way you market your product, these two objects are helpful. Okay, campaign and lead. So here, if you see, this is going to be campaign record. Okay, so imagine Sunsilk is a campaign. uh, Sunsilk is a product and they have come up with new product. Okay, new product to market, and they wanted to introduce it to the people. uh, okay, so they are kind of organizing an event in a mall saying 2022. So you can see like the leads under that thing. Okay. So if at all, if you wanted to create a new lead, okay, imagine Ashwin is the person who's interested in this product, says, hey, I like this product and I would like to make a purchase. Okay. Yeah, something. Okay. .com. Okay. So he's willing to make some purchase and he's going to give his phone number as well. Okay. And also company, imagine he belongs to Accenture. Okay. And title is going to be he's an HR. Okay. Or HR lead or something like that. Okay. So once you click on this, okay, there's an invalid ad. So okay. So you always need to remember that once if there is going to be email field. Okay. So if you're going to create any field with data type email, you need to have at and .com. Okay, so that's how whichever email ID if you take is going to have at the rate and .com or .org or anything, right? So in the end, so Salesforce by default, it checks if at all if the email is in right format. Okay, if at all if it is in invalid format, it's going to throw error something like this. So without clearing this error, you'll not be able to save the record. So now I have fixed the issue and now I'm clicking on save. Okay, I need annual revenue to be filled. Okay, the company's annual revenue. Okay, so I don't have this field in place now, so maybe I need to, put that in thing or yeah. So yeah, so I need to put the details here, and you will be able to display the leads under that thing. Okay. So yes, so that's one of the thing that you will be coming across. Okay, so you can also set which is the start date and end date and all these things. Okay, campaign name, if at all if the campaign is active, and type, what type of campaign is it? Is it webinar or trade show? Okay, and status, it is already planned or in progress or something like that. Okay, so you can also set how many opportunities one, which means like how many people are interested, and that people who are interested, they should also make a purchase, right? So if at all if they're making purchase, how many how much revenue they are generating. And so uh, the sales manager basically is going to have idea like, okay, I have organized this campaign and 100 people are interested and 80 people have purchased my product, and those 80 people have generated like $200 or $300. Okay, they have purchased for 200, 300 altogether. So this is something that you can have in place. Okay, and also lead, right? Which I told you. So once you go to lead and the campaign will be correlated. Okay, so this lead will be corresponding to one campaign. Okay, so if you see Sunsilk, so under Sunsilk, Kishore is one of the lead, which means that he's interested in that product. So if at all if he's going to make a purchase, he will be created as a opportunity as well. Okay, so once I go to this opportunity record, okay, so you can see that this person, he's created as an opportunity as well, okay, with that campaign name and that is name, okay. So this is not only in this format, but basically this, as like as per logically I've created this way, but if you see basically it won't be like this way, okay. It depends on your client, okay. So yeah, so he can enter like how much amount, for how much amount he has made the purchase, and the revenue, and also to which, I told you, right, like the purchase he has done. And in that purchase page, this is the imagine this is the purchase bill, okay. So here I am going to see uh, which person has made the purchase, and to which account he belongs to, okay, to which company he belongs to, and what type of account is it, or anything, right? The lead source. So you might say like, I heard about this product on web, or I heard about this product through phone, or I got referred, or anything, right? Like other, or email, I got a email promotion mail, or something like that, okay. So this is all something that you can record the details. So if at all, if you wanted to enter some details also, you can put that thing here in description, okay. So yeah, so these are all something that you need to remember. So this is how all these objects are related, okay. So let me type here. So imagine uh, account is Accenture, okay. Contact is a person, uh, Kishore, okay. So he's a person, and he's a contact, okay. And opportunity, if at all, if he's going to purchase, okay, purchased purchased product uh, form, okay. So purchased product form, so that is called as opportunity. So obviously once he's purchasing a product, he's going to turn into an opportunity. So the process how it happens in Salesforce, okay, basically you're going to choose a campaign. So any event, okay, product promotion event, okay, product promoting event, okay. So you're going to have this product promoting event called Sunsilk, okay. So yeah, so this is called a Sunsilk event, and the people, yeah, contacts who are interested, okay. One second, guys, I don't have O and L working in my keyboard. I need to get this changed with my office. Contacts who, yeah. So this is what you need to take into consider, like the contacts who are interested in your product, and has enrolled their name, okay, enrolled their name, okay. So enroll their name. Uh, so this is where you need to see the things, okay. So this is where there will be there with enrolling the thing.